Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it.
Now that we're talking about it, I wonder if you need to have empathy in middle management. I wonder if you need to have empathy when you're actually physically more connected with your team. And then later, as you gain seniority, that's where compassion is, because the people you're physically connected with is going to be a senior group of people. You're not going to be connected with, the rank and file. So you can't actually have empathy with people that you have no relationship with. So you actually need compassion. I wonder if that's the thing. Because, in a company-sized group of soldiers, Marines, whatever, it's about 200 people. And even if you get smaller than that, you talk to folks in the military, and they'll say that they can judge when a young lieutenant is a good lieutenant because of the way that the troops refer to him or her. They'll say, that's our lieutenant, as opposed to the lieutenant. It's always the colonel, because it's too far. It's always the colonel. But that's our lieutenant. And when the troops make the transition from the lieutenant to our lieutenant, that means there's a relationship. And I think at that level, you need to have empathy. You need to know your troops. You need to know their names. You need to know their faces. You need to know their families. I think in business, you need to know your people. You need to know the names of their kids. You need to know where they live, what goes on in their lives. But as you become disconnected physically, I think that's where compassion, that makes perfect sense.
Can we write about this?
Yeah,
Let's
we
write
should.
About this. Let's
good.
write about this.
This, by the way, is unrehearsed. This is
totally, yeah. I've got 2 quick questions
That's
left,
very
and
good.
then I want to go to
That's
you.
very good.
So we've got at least 20 minutes so start getting your thoughts, and we'll talk about the ground rules on how that stuff works just here in a second. But first, I want to ask a question before I get to your new creative product, which I'm really fascinated with. But I have one more question, and it's about happiness. I've written about happiness. You've written about happiness. Tell me how important it is for you and me and everybody in this audience to be happy leaders.
I don't like the term happiness. I like the term fulfillment. I like the term joy. Happiness to me is something that is fleeting. And you can have happiness because you win the piece of business, or you hit your numbers, or you go see a movie, and happiness is wonderful and it's great, and then it goes away. It doesn't last. Where deep fulfillment, like love,
meaning,
purpose, all of that kind of stuff.
Or you could say the why.
The why, yeah,
as it were.
But deep fulfillment, I think, is a much higher standard. Let me equate it to, like, you don't like your kids every day, but you love your kids every day. It's that kind of thing.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
And so,
deep truth, friend.
You don't have to be happy every day, but you can be fulfilled every day. You don't have to like your job every day, but you can love your job every day. And I think that people confuse the two. And people are seeking happiness in their work, and they're doing it through all the ways you would think they would do it in short-term things. So, like, and you see it the way we lead young people too, which is we put in free food and bean bags and all these fun things at the office because we want to make our employees happy, and it absolutely works. It just doesn't make them fulfilled, and they still are unhappy and they still quit, or they still are unfulfilled and they still quit. And I think this is the problem. I think we've confused the terms because they're not the same. So I'm more interested in people finding deep fulfillment in their work, and I'm sure they will find happiness throughout that also.
This is interesting because, of course, you're defining the Aristotelian understanding of deep happiness, which is a good life well lived based on a sense of meaning and purpose. And yet we've fallen into a definition of psychological happiness in society where we're searching for something that is inherently ephemeral. And what we want to find is something consistent with our deepest views. And now, Jung,
there's an irony in that too, which is the idea of searching for happiness. Right? It's not a scavenger hunt. You don't be like, look under a rock and be like, I found happiness. I found the job I love. It's like you don't find love either. Like, you find somebody who cares about you, that you care about. You fall in love. I'm not sure exactly what day it happened, and then you work tirelessly every day to stay in love. Because if you stop working, the love goes away. And it's the same at work. You don't find a job you love. You find a place where you share the values, you fit, they care about you as a human being, you fall in love with your job, and you work tirelessly every day to take care of the people around you, and you remain fulfilled. So I think the whole concept of searching for happiness, or searching for the job that you love, or searching for love, is completely misguided. It's finding an area where you could work hard at it, and then you have to work hard to keep it. And the worst part is so do they. And if one of you quits, then the thing goes haywire. And that goes for employees and for management, which is they have to work hard, but at this, and so do we. So I think our language is not helping us.